So
this thing is like $700, but it is, as a guy who drives a $200 car, it is worth it. This is like this thing,
your car gets stolen, you're like, my tomahawk.
Oh my God. I mean, if I had to have one tool out in the wilderness to survive, it would be this thing. I'm not just kissing their ass. They make legitimately good stuff. I've had one of their tomahawks for 5 years now. This is the new one, but I've still got the other one. I mean, dude, you can hit rocks, you can hit concrete, bricks, you can chop through metal. Like, it's literally meant to hack through other pieces of metal, which, the kind of runs we do with the cannonball stuff and some of these adventure trips, we get cars like as far out into the wilderness as you can drive in North America. That's how far out we drive. I mean, we've been on glaciers, we've been out in some crazy places. And yeah, this thing, man, I'm kind of like hoping some crazy shit goes down in Alaska next week. Cause like, I want to be the guy that just comes like off the top rope with thank God I got my tomahawk here. But anyway, so I'm really stoked to be working with these guys though. Like, this thing is, and I'm not just like, for example, like, I don't really like Pepsi. I'm a Coca-Cola guy, but like, if Pepsi came along, like, yeah, I'd probably take their money. But like this stuff, like, I've legitimately had their stuff for half a decade and it is the shit. And they've got some really funny stuff. Like, read their item descriptions. Like, they've got this whole line of like clubs and brass knuckles. They have a set of brass knuckles called Snuckles. They have another big like warhammer called Snuggle or Cuddles. That's like this big spiky, Cuddles. Like, they've got some legit weapons out there that you could tear some shit up with. But anyway, they're super cool guys. This stuff is like all handmade. It's all made in America. All the materials come from America. I mean, they are really like walking the walk. But if you've never had a military grade weaponized tomahawk in your hand, it is satisfying.
What kind of pussy doesn't have any military grade tomahawks?
Yeah,
I'm telling you. It's like,
not
in
me.
Vietnam, the combat guys,
I really wish we all had
like
better tomahawks. Like right now.
I mean, I tell you, I'm not I'm more of the like Indiana Jones, pull the gun out, shoot somebody kind of type of guy. Probably, sure. I'm not like a combatant. But like, man, if I did have to go like up against a bear or a person or something, I mean, this thing, you can push with it, you can stab with it, you can hook with it, like you could deflect other stuff. It's like good in like close quarters. Like, you don't need to like you can do like front stroke, back stroke.
But like a bear's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, I mean a bear.
Please, Taylor, you don't think
a brown bear?
I mean, am I gonna
900-pound brown bear?
All right, Taylor. First of all, that's racist. They don't like to be called that.
What? Like that.
That's African American.
Second, I can take a bear. I don't care what color it is. I'm colorblind to bears, but I can take them all.
I know that. Actually, when you were out there in the wilderness, were you just giving spear sharpening duty to like the one guy?
I couldn't hear that.
Oh shit! We've been having glitches on your camera as well the past few minutes. But is he there? I don't know.
Can you hear us? Nope.
No,
froze. Probably not.
I was imagining that like if I were on that expedition, I would be the person tasked with like sharpening sticks because I would have no skill set in the fixing part of it, and that would be a thing like keeping me busy. Because like if a brown bear gets up on you, there's no way a spear made by me is going to do anything other than prolong my death experience.
Then why would I let you make the spear?
Because you're you know about cars.
Because he's a child that you're pacifying and occupying.
Yeah.
Okay, Taylor. I know you have a lot of big feelings right now.
Absolutely.
Kyle, don't be mad. I ate all the food.
And I saw a squirrel and I threw your knife at it and I missed and I don't know where the knife is now.
Okay, you guys are busy. You're gonna kill me. I was listening to the radio in the car and
Battery's dead.
I was checking my phone because I've been playing Temple Run. And
I wonder if you could self-power your alternator and recharge your battery.
Like they did it on Breaking Bad.
Did they? Like with human power, they turned the alternator backwards.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, something went wrong where they broke the generator. So Walt just spent like the whole night spinning the internals of a generator to produce electricity and charge a battery.
I am losing you guys.
I was going to ask when you were in that situation with the spears, did you you just gave that task to the most useless person, right? Like, yeah, you go sharpen spears. for the bears.
Oh well, it was just two of us at that point. So it was just whoever was working on the truck, the other one was manning the spear, like it was or a spear, like it was just kind of a,
Oh, I imagined a bigger group too.
Yeah, because there was
so
like
the spear wasn't
everywhere.
a silly task to like con some child into thinking he was being useful against a grizzly bear.
Nah, this is more like life raft situation. This was like two dudes in a 40-year-old Suburban broken down 200 miles out in the wilderness. So there was like not a lot of there was nobody to recruit. It was just like, okay, I'll hold the spear while you work on the truck, and then you work on the truck and I'll hold the spear. And yeah,
it's crazy to think if I were alone in that situation, I would have died. Like I'd be like, how do cars work? And I'd be like, fuck, I should have learned this.
Well, I mean, somebody would have come along eventually, and a couple cars came through. I mean, we had it under control enough. You're not even in remote areas like that, even way out on like the Dalton Highway between Cold Foot and Prudhoe Bay. I mean, there's a trucker along every 30 minutes or so. So you'd really have to try hard to be like a dried up skeleton eaten by bears next to your car, but. Definitely needed something. I mean, would I want to go toe to toe with a bear with a spear? Hell no. But, the top, whatever it is, the bear's probably going to win, but I'm going to go out swinging. So yeah, spear.
It's definitely going to win.
I don't have a vibe for the answer to this question, but can a Suburban protect you from a brown bear? From a grizzly bear?
Oh, hell no.
If it's not motivated.
I've seen a bear open the top of a door frame like a mailbox, like just like going for like, Cheez-Its or something. Just walk up and just bend it down. Oh, yeah. A bear would get – the only thing might save you is the bear is like so big that he might not be able to reach all the way in. Like if you could like hide in opposite sides of the car. But, oh, yeah, he'd just tear the door right off. I mean, they're really that strong. They're just, we decide not to be that motivated.
Yeah.
Remember all the arguments we used to have back in the day about because it used to be a big internet thing where people were like, oh, silverback gorilla versus a grizzly bear. And then you actually do like a tail of the tape and it's like, oh, it wouldn't just be the grizzly would kill it before it really realized it was in like it wouldn't be a put up your dukes fight. Like the gorilla would get butt fucked so hard and so immediately.
What is the weight difference? Do you have any idea?
It's like a factor
of 3
of 2.
or 4 to 1.
Yeah, like at least double. I think it's like closer to 3 times as much. And it's like 9 feet tall. And claws are so much better than fingernails.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to say that
like
bears
big gorillas like 700-800 pounds. Big bears like 2,000 pounds.
But I feel like bears are less danger per pound, right? Like if you see them without fur, they're kind of fat. They wouldn't win any beauty contests. Gorillas, on the other hand,
they're jacked. But think about this: it's kind of like if
bears
you took
jacked.
The bears are jacked. If you took Brian Shaw,
they're jacked.
Yeah, they're
not,
huge.
They're fat.
They're as strong as bears could get, which is so strong.
Zach, can you find a hairless bear?
Zach, please find me that gif of the 2 adult grizzlies like duking it out by a river. They're in like a marshy type area, and there's like huge muscles rippling, and they're just
but they're swinging around.
I don't even know what that is.
I could fuck that bear up.
A grizzly bear.
That is a grizzly bear.
That is a female black bear who was dying.
Yeah,
that's a sick black bear.
Well done, that is not grizzly bear.
I can see that bear's cooter. That's how I know that's a sick bear.
We were in Denali and had a bear come past the vehicle we were in, and like a full-size grizzly bear is the size of a small car.
Can you imagine? Have you heard tale of Woody the bear fighter? He's slain 30 of the beasts in a day.
That's like Winnie the Pooh after he's been on meth.
That's a dog.
Oh man,
these sick fucking bears.
Yeah, I don't like these pictures.
These are sad.
Taylor, it was a mean bear.
That bear would still kick your ass.
Oh. Yeah, any bear is going to kick your ass if it's motivated.
That's not true. There's like a beaver next to it.
That's like
a coonskin cap.
That's a sick raccoon.
I could fuck that bear up.
That is a sick raccoon, isn't it?
You guys can't take bears like me. You're not trained.
Looking at you like, why do I still exist?
Yeah. No,
so cold in here.
All right. In fairness to you, Zach, there are not a lot of good photos of hairless grizzly bears online. You know why? Because you try and shave one. It's gonna fuck you up.
I did. You saw the results.
When we were up at the oil station up on the coast of the Arctic Ocean up in Prudhoe, all the buildings there, most of them are on like skids, because if you built a building with a regular foundation, the heat would melt the permafrost and your building would sink. So all the buildings are up on these like 10-foot skids. They move them around with tractors and shit. And there's pipes and all this equipment. It's not like a town. It's like a moon base.
Yeah.
And like the little hotel we stayed at was like a sort of like a thing, like it's almost like that thing in the abyss, like on the bottom of the ocean. It's like this little tube and we all kind of live in it. But the steps going up to it, because the polar bears roll up on you, like every other step was like it was like that metal like construction, like the steps you take up on like a bulldozer or something. Every other step had a 2x12 with like 4-inch screws and bolts like poking up out of it. So as a person, you would skip every other one. That's to keep the bears from stepping on it. At the door, there's no locks on any of the doors. Like if a bear rolls up, you can reasonably confidently run to any door and it will be open, so you can try to get in. Yeah, they have like inside the doors, they have like pepper spray, like bear spray hanging on a string by the door. There's a bucket of spikes, so like if you could get in the door, you can like barricade the door with something and use the sticks to like poke the bear away while you're spraying the bear, hoping the bear steps on the spiky strips. And then like the unused door in the building, they had piled all of the exercise equipment from the gym and just like barricaded the door with a Nautilus machine. Like it was crazy. And like I went out, just kind of walking around the oil station, which is big. I mean, it's miles across, looking at all these cool trucks, these big monster truck tires and shit on them. And like, you got to keep your head on swivel, because like the polar bears will straight up roll up on people. And like, there's just nothing you can do. I mean, they can run 40 miles an hour and they're 11 feet tall, and they can turn a car over and tear a door off its hinges. Like they can smell you.
Largest land predator in the world.
Away. I'm sorry?
It's the biggest land predator in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's just nothing you can do. Like, like if it's a territorial thing with a grizzly bear, you might could play dead. If it's like a black bear, you might could bluff it. Like a polar bear, it's just going to eat you. Like there's just nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah, those other bears you mentioned are mostly omnivores, whereas the polar bear just eats meat. So
just eat meat. Supposedly their liver's got like a fatal level of vitamin A in it to us for that very reason.
Yeah. They're eating
we saw one like maybe 5 miles out. And I say I saw a polar bear, meaning that like there was a white dot out on the horizon, which the last 150 miles.
You're coming off as a bit of a sissy. Polar bears are not that scary.
That's pretty fucking cute.
The last 200 miles to Prudhoe is just a straight road across grass. I mean, there's nothing out there. And we saw like a white dot probably 4 or 5 miles out that had to have been a polar bear, because it wouldn't have been anything else. But man, that was as close as I wanted to get, because those things are, I mean, they're cool looking. And when you see them like playing with and stuff, rolling around and playing with their babies, like they're cute, but like their paw is the size of like your torso. I mean, they're just massive. And they are starting to see grizzly bears crossbreeding with polar bears now.
Bears.
Because their their habitat, their ice shelf is melting, so they can't get back on the float ice. So they're hanging out through the breeding season and hooking up with.
There is a Pizzly crowd, but get out of here with that.
But they
I don't think I've ever seen one.
But a growler bear seems less scary, right? Like, I mean,
and it rolls off the tongue.
Oh, I love the name. Let's set that issue aside. I'm finished.
Growler bear, you say? I like that. Is that what you say? I like that name.
A purebred polar bear is bigger and scarier than a grizzly bear, right? So you're just diluting and sort of downgrading.
I think you're making it more,
but it's like going from like a cruise missile to a bazooka, though. I mean, like you're still like slightly less, but it's also like an extra jacked grizzly bear, which is already one of the most terrifying animals on the planet. So, he's pretty cute, though. He looks like you could snuggle him, but I have a feeling that you could not.
He looks sad.
He does look kind of sad.
Oh, okay. This guy's like scratching his ass. He's having a blast. He's like, that rock right there. Oh, getting there deep.
But like for perspective, like you couldn't put your arms around that thing's neck because it's that jacked. Yeah. Like it's too big to hug him.
Big. I don't think I've ever seen one. I know I've seen black bears in the wild, or not in the wild, but at like when you go to Pigeon Forge, they have this wildlife thing where that's kind of in the wild. They're fenced.
Roaring Fork. That's really cool.
Zach, can you find a picture of somebody holding a polar bear's paw? like for perspective.
Yeah, I know. There was always the story that they had the big mounted grizzly at the Alaska airport when you flew in, and to give people who were like tourists, I guess, some perspective into what they were talking about if they're going bear watching or bear hunting or bear looky-looing or whatever. They're gargantuan. The bear can stand up and put its front paws on like a one-story house's roof. That's man, that looks cool, right?
I guess you could cuddle them.
And that's not a full size one because I've stood next to some taxidermied ones, and I mean obviously you see them in the zoos and stuff, but yeah, I mean they're cute and they look like a big white German Shepherd. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, and like how fast. That's what they were telling us up at the oil station too. They were like, these things can sprint at 40 miles an hour. So like, don't get out of your car to take a picture of it because it will close a gap on you like way faster than you think. And but again, tomahawk. If I had to pick a weapon, it would be the tomahawk. But I'm going to go out
poorly. You need a shotgun.
This is Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah, but hey, good luck getting a shotgun through Canada, man. Like you can fly into Alaska and bring a gun with you, like by air. But if you're driving through Canada, man, you can. I think like 3 inches is the limit on like a pocket knife. I mean, they are.
I looked it up because I hadn't heard that you couldn't bring a knife to Canada. It surprised me. And it turns out you can bring something like a Bowie knife, but a folding pocket knife you can't bring in, which isn't what I expected. That's what I
read. They're pretty straight and stuff.
Cool up there.
Yeah, sorry, we got pulled when we drove the Charger into Canada to go shoot it off the cliff. It was a former police car, which they were already sketchy on. And the key it came with had a handcuff key on the key ring with the police car that was still on there. And my buddy that owned it, like he had like his Florida plate on the back, but it still had the Texas front plate on it. So we kind of got pulled off to the side. And when they saw the handcuff key, we got like detained and they completely field stripped that whole car just over a handcuff key, like thinking we were going to go up there and like get arrested and get away or something. But yeah, Canadians are very nice people, but yeah, they do not have a sense of humor at the border, man.
I keep my handcuff key on my keychain because I figure if I ever accidentally like get a girlfriend locked up and I lose the key, I know where one is. I know exactly where one is. And so there's.
You feel like you need a handcuff key to unlock the handcuffs?
I mean, if we're in a survival situation and I had a bobby pin, I'm almost positive I can open handcuffs with a bobby pin for sure.
Yeah, but if you pop out the little binder clips, the little black ones that they use,
you got to stop interrupting me, man.
Together with, you pop the little handle out of that, it'll kind of work.
Christopher, I think you're lagging behind a little bit, and it's kind of ruining the show because you talk over us, and we kind of get bowled over by you.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
I think it's a tech issue. I think you're on because I noticed it earlier in the show. I haven't said anything, and I think he just doesn't know that we're talking.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Well, sorry about that. Yeah, you guys sound like Stephen Hawking on an auto tuner sometimes.
Yeah, that's on your end. It's your internet bandwidth is the.
Yeah, I'm kind of out in the sticks out here, so I don't have the fastest internet. Well, apologies for the talking over. I don't mean to do that.
It's all good. It's all good.
When you do like hand signals, or we need like passing the conch in Lord of the Flies or something.
I haven't seen that, and I didn't have to read it. I feel like I was the only person in the 90s and early 2000s who didn't have to read Lord of the Flies.
I liked it more than most. I didn't like every book they made us read, but that one worked for me.
I learned about what it was about from the Simpsons episode where they go to the island. It's a good Simpsons. Yeah. Where Otto doesn't die at the end. Somehow he stays alive. Anyway, I just got back. What are we talking about?
Fighting bears.
Polar bears.
Oh, damn, still.